Welcome to the Portal Podcast on In Tune by Britt, your gateway to energy, abundance, and next level freedom. I'm Britt, and here we merge spiritual alignment with practical systems so you can expand your impact, your intuition, and your income. So take a deep breath, tune in, and let's step through the portal together. Welcome back, guys, to the Portal Podcast. And today's episode is my no excuses era, which I shared I am in. I'm doing kind of this little challenge for myself after Cardi B spoke on it. Shout out to Cardi B. And I'm going to share what I'm learning. I'm learning a lot. And what I've learned that's going to be kind of an overarching theme of this episode is that where we are avoiding is oftentimes where we are justifying excuses that we've normalized and how that is directly linked to your manifestations or things that you want that feel like they're taking longer than you want them to manifest, and also how successful people and people that are speeding up their manifestations do things differently. So I have a lot in store for you today, and I hope you love this topic as much as I do. So really this started when I heard the episode with Emma Grade and Cardi B, and I mentioned how Cardi B was just talking about it doesn't matter if you have kids, it doesn't matter, this and that, what you perceive as challenges. If you really want something, nothing's going to stop you. And I started thinking about where I was thinking maybe that I was limited, or I was thinking that I didn't have as much availability for something because of my situation or who I am. And then that led me down this whole incredible healing path of being able to see with love and really identify quickly where I'm making excuses. So I'm going to share how this showed up for me recently. So it is a truth bomb energy of being really honest with ourselves without shame, without judging ourselves, but with just love of that next level that is here and available for you and you're excited about manifesting might be right through that breakthrough of allowing yourself to see what excuses you're coming up with to keep yourself where you're at, to keep yourself from taking the action that probably feels really uncomfortable. Because that's the truth, is avoidance has an energy and it's very directly connected to our ego, to the negative mind, to that survival instinct part of ourself that's connected to the root chakra that is here to keep us safe. It's that primal pull of the ego that says, you're good. You're good how you are. Let's not put ourselves in danger. Let's not go out into the unknown where we're not sure what the threats are out there. Let's just keep everyone safe. Keep everyone in the comfort zone. And so that's how our mind is wired. And so when we are really looking to go into a next level and these excuses start coming up, that's a natural part of the journey, because the excuses are really showing us where our mind is trying to keep us where we're at. And so the excuses come in to justify our rational brain. I have a story of how this showed up for me recently and how I was able to see it differently and move through it. So I've been feeling like I'm supposed to do a parasite cleanse, and I've been hearing this for a while. A few healers told me in Bali a while back that I should do one, but I was breastfeeding at the time. Those of you that know me know I breastfed for like 6 years total with my 2 kids. So anyways, I knew I wanted to do it, but that was something that was holding me back from doing it then. And then I love doing cleanses. I've done, juice cleanses and a number of cleanses, and I always do the energy cleanse with the Rise Up 10-week program. I do that at least twice a year myself. And I've always been really big on cleansing, but I am being called to a parasite cleanse and kind of a deeper body cleanse. We all get little messages and pings about things that we are called to do. And this is something that kept coming back. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like those messages that kind of won't leave you, that you keep getting little reminders about, and you know it would support you. Mind you, a big goal of mine, especially this year, is with my body. And, over the last couple of years, I had a period where I gained 10 pounds and I realized it was directly tied to a few things, but it was carrying more heavy emotional energy that was linked to my divorce. It was also linked to me just taking on other people's energy. And this could be a whole episode in itself. I probably will do one on this because it's absolutely fascinating. But as we heal and as we step more into the healer teacher role and as we hold space for more people, oftentimes we can take on more energy. And what I found for me is, I do the energy cleanses. I have a lot of spiritual hygiene practices. I've been working with my aura. And it's a regular part of my practices to clear any other people's energy out of my field. But what happened is I did a big quantum leap into a higher level of holding space for more people, holding space in new ways, holding more space for my family, for my kids, holding more space for myself through big transitions. And as I was recalibrating into a higher frequency of holding space, there was a period where my body wasn't yet calibrated to hold as much as I was. And so what happened is I was taking on more energy than I was cleansing. And the way that showed up for me is with actual weight on my body. So it was like emotional, heavy weight of holding that emotional energy. And I find as I've talked to a lot of healers and teachers about this, that can happen when, we are expanding. So I'm no longer doing that anymore. I've figured it out where I can continue to expand and hold more and more space. And I don't have to hold that weight physically in my body anymore. So how am I doing this? Well, I'm doing energy cleanses more often in deeper ways. It's my full Rise Up energy cleanse program, the 10 weeks, but really like going deeper with that. I had to do it more often as I was recalibrating to a new level. And then also going deeper with the body, cleansing with the food, which is also a part of Rise Up, is like the juices and the nutrition. And then like there's deeper levels of cleansing that we can do, right? So I say all of that to just kind of give you a little backstory as what was going on with me and how I was on this journey of releasing weight, learning not to take on other people's energy, not to hold it in my body, and how it was directly connected and tied to, such a bigger manifestation of In Tune by Britt, how it's growing, how I'm supporting more light workers, more women, and just bigger manifestations that I have of having a TED Talk, writing another book, growing this podcast, growing my mastermind, really helping thousands and thousands of people and really being able to do massive events and just really grow the community and grow the brand. And so I'm in the process of doing that right now. And part of that is this whole connection to my body, holding more space, learning how not to take other people's energy on. So one of the things that was coming in that would support me in this manifestation is doing a deeper parasite cleanse. Okay. Long story short, now you're up to speed with why this is so important for me, right? It's not kind of just this random thing that I want to do. So I got this message about doing the parasite cleanse. I was asking, which one should I do? That's typically the first step. If you know you want to do something, something has been delivered that will support you and is an action that you're meant to take on the road to your manifestation, but you then don't have clarity on what the next right action is, we always ask, right? Ask source, God, the universe, ask mentors, guides, people you trust, ask yourself, your higher self in meditation. So I was in that kind of initial process. And then things start showing up for you. It's very important to listen and receive and pay attention and kind of put those messages together after you ask for something. And then I happened to see this video of this girl who said she did the Sanctuary Holistic Wellness Cleanse. Okay. and she was just talking about it. So I went to their page, I did a bunch of research, and I started kind of researching a bunch of parasite companies at the time. But that one was really resonating with me. Like I felt it really strongly. And after I was researching about the founder and all the information, I realized, yes, this is the one that I wanted to do. So I reached out to them because, as a personal brand, as somebody that is visible and works with brands, it's part of the perks where, people send me a lot of free stuff all the time. I'm on Shop My, where I share links to my favorite products and such, and they send me tons of free things. People reach out all the time for like brand collaborations and to promote their products, which, by the way, I only promote products that I really care and love because that's not, my mainstream of income. I really obviously just care also about the integrity of only sharing products that I use and love, and me just checking all the ingredients and making sure it's like high vibrational, good to go, etc. So anyways, I reached out to the Sanctuary Holistic Wellness brand, the Parasite Cleanse. I was like, hey, I'd love to try your cleanse, talk about collaborating in the future. They seem really cool. They don't actually even give commission for people promoting their product, which, is pretty strange. Most companies do, but I guess they said maybe in the future that they are, but they really just want to keep it pure and clean and only have people promoting it who like really just love it. And I thought that was really cool and special as well. But anyways, they sent me a free whole like 10-day parasite cleanse, and it comes with like sage and Palo Santo and all of these herbs and teas and dry brush and the whole deal, and tells you exactly how to do the whole 10-day cleanse. Okay. So I got it over a month ago. I knew I wanted to do it, but basically there was some avoidance energy. There was some excuses, but it was justified. At the time, my mind didn't think of it as an excuse. And that's what happens sometimes. So I wasn't conscious that it was an excuse at the time. So how did it show up? It showed up because I read, oh, it's good to do it around the full moon. And I was like, okay, I'll wait. I'll wait till the full moon. And then the full moon came, and it was right on Everest's birthday. And I knew I wanted to have cake on Everest's birthday. So I was like, oh, like I can't start it on the actual full moon. So I'll just start it a couple days after the full moon. And then I wasn't really preparing correctly and like taking the necessary action to get myself set up for it because, you have to just like kind of quickly read through it. And there's a little pre-cleanse 3-day thing, I think. See, I haven't done it yet. So this is why I'm doing this podcast, because this is going to snap me into gear. And I'm showing you in real time, like how I'm self-sabotaging right now, but how I'm catching it and how I'm going to override it and not do it anymore. And this is helping me with my own accountability and hopefully helping you see where you can be more accountable for yourself. So anyways, I wasn't doing the correct preparatory steps. And then that just continued, right? Like Everest's birthday was 6 days ago now. What am I doing now? Because I've been able to see, hey, Britt, you're making excuses, you're avoiding, you're delaying, and I love you so much. And I need you to know that this is delaying your overall manifestation of doing this cleanse so your body is prepped and ready and in a higher frequency to then hold more space to then, expand and up everything. And yes, this is just a piece of it, but it's an important piece. And I want to do this because I want to take all the actions and do the different steps that I'm being called to do that all add up and all speed up my pathway forward, right? So now that I see I'm in this pattern of making an excuse around it and delaying a manifestation that's directly connected to taking this step to then get more of what I want, I see, okay, I'm going to override this excuse. I'm going to call myself out on my bullshit, and I'm going to, like, with love, bring in some fun around it. And I'm going to really hold myself accountable. So it's just little practical things that I had to do. I had to take it down physically off of the top shelf of my laundry room. So it was in physical sight of my view. Then I had to open it up. I had to scan the QR code. You know, I was like putting a list together of just the little steps I had to take. I had to buy this grape juice, right? I had to make sure that I have everything I need to eat the fruits and the vegetables and, do the smoothies and all of that. So I have that all set up. So now basically you're holding me accountable and I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing it with my groups and I'm going to also post on social media that I'm starting the pre part of the cleanse tomorrow, right? And I'm going to hold myself accountable with love because I don't want to wait and I don't want to delay anymore. And then a big light bulb went off for me. I noticed the excuse. I noticed I was delaying. I did that energy work. I then took the action of what I needed to do physically to make it happen. And then I am visible about it. So sharing with a friend, sharing with a mentor, sharing with my people helps. And what then I really realized is visibility is literally the opposite of avoidance. It's the opposite of hiding. It's the opposite of excuses. Because when you're visible, you see yourself fully and you allow other people to see you and you see the beauty and the positive. And then you also, normally see some things that are areas of opportunity is what I like to call them. Instead of saying like, whatever, flaws or weaknesses or things that you don't like or whatever it is, I see it as, what are the areas of opportunity? What are the parts of myself that are being called to expand, to shift, to grow, to show up differently, to be in a higher frequency? So when you are seen and you are visible and you show yourself, you see the whole spectrum of who you are, the things that you love and the things that are sometimes harder to look at. But when we can look at those things with love and appreciation and honesty, just like we would look at a child, just like we would look at anybody who has places to grow. And when we can look at it of this incredible opportunity to expand and to grow, then we can nurture those parts of ourselves instead of avoid and disconnect and shame them. We can look at them with love and see them and be aware of them, which the Kundalini helps so much to do, have that awareness. We can be aware of them and then we can say, hey, let's alchemize. Let's come along for the ride. Let's grow together. What do you need to move forward? And then we can give ourselves what we need and we can receive what we need in the form of other people, support, and anything that is a part of our manifestation, like my cleanse that's coming in. Okay. So it's making that connection that the things that we are avoiding or shaming ourselves for, or kind of disconnecting and not wanting to face, may be and oftentimes are the exact doorway into the manifestation, the exact pathway to everything that you want. And all we have to do is move through it. All we have to do is take action through the discomfort, through the intensity. And all we have to do is quiet those excuses, move our energy, and take action anyways. And there's never a perfect moment. There's always going to be excuses. There's always going to be a birthday or a holiday or a trip coming up or, whatever it is, your period or Joe Bob's second cousin, aunt's sister's reunion wedding ceremony. If we're looking for excuses and if we are letting excuses dictate our actions, we will always find them. We are very good at finding ways to stay where we're at. So I want to get really good at seeing the excuses, but not letting them dictate my actions. And there's a big difference there because avoidance is an energy. It's a frequency and it drains our energy. It's lower in frequency and it drains our energy. If we are running on avoidance, if we are vibrating on the avoidance of the frequency of doubt and shame and disconnection and avoidance and not wanting to really look at the truth, it's often connected to lack and fear. And that's a low frequency vibration and it moves slower. Right. So that avoidance is a frequency that's draining our energy. So we really want to clear up any drains in our energy field. And that's why we do a lot of the aura work. And why we do the energy cleanse to strengthen our aura so that our energy is not being drained, so that our dominant frequency is a lot higher than things like fear, lack, shame, avoidance. And then we're able to be a match for the higher frequency of more of the things that we want, more of the things of like moving faster and making decisions and taking action despite excuses that we may have, and making faster decisions and making decisions in alignment with love and what we want and where we're going despite the discomfort. Okay. So that's the energy of it. And it's going to look different for everyone, but you can start to see it really clearly and you can start to spot it out and not let it run the show. So, another thing that came up for me that I just want to share that helped me piece all of this together recently was one of my really good friends, her father passed away. And, she reached out to me and I knew him. She's a really good friend from college. I hadn't seen him in a while, but he was an incredible man and, definitely had that connection to him. And my friend reached out and knows I've had a lot of connection with my mom on the other side and just have a lot of connection, to dead people and to the other side. And she just, asked me, are you getting any messages from him and such? And I started tapping in and all these messages started flooding. And I have a lot of stories on this I could share, but it was really incredible kind of whole experience that happened. But one of the messages that came through, it wasn't directly through him, but it was through the whole experience of me channeling him and also just what I was working on with the whole no excuses topic is he passed and it was right around Mother's Day. And also for him, it came through that it was unexpected and, he wasn't expecting to not go back to the house and there was some inconveniences as far as projects that he was working on and this and that. And what just dawned on me and all pieced together is it ever convenient when you die? Is there ever a convenient day to die? My mom died the day after my brother's birthday. My brother's birthday is May 24th, and she died on May 25th. And I felt her not wanting to pass on my brother's birthday. And, we were kind of doing like the cake and obviously trying to celebrate my brother's birthday, knowing my mom was going to pass soon, which was so challenging. But I knew didn't want to pass on my brother's birthday. But then she passed early in the morning the very next day. But is there a convenient day to die? No, no. My mom was also born on Christmas. Is Christmas a convenient day to have a baby? No. My grandmother would always say that. Death and birth and living and moving forward and making decisions and doing the things that you're wanting to do aren't always convenient. And if we're always looking for convenience or wanting things to be perfect, we're not going to be in our flow. We're not going to be aligning with divine timing. We're not going to be taking risks and speeding things up and moving forward on our highest timeline. So I hope that lands. I hope that lands. I have this high intention for you not to wait any longer, not to wait or put things off. And yes, there's divine timing. And yes, sometimes we kind of have to go through a little journey to gather, what we need internally to get ourselves to take the action to move forward. But what I'm finding is the more I go deep with my energy work, the more I practice showing up inconveniently, showing up, because I want to and I need to, not waiting for after summer vacation, for after this, for after that, the more I'm not waiting for my manifestations to show up in my life, right? I don't want you to wait any longer. I don't want myself to wait any longer. I want us all to be quantum leaping forward, taking the risks quantum timeline jumping and really moving forward and really speeding up our energy and experiencing more joy and love and excitement and all of those things. And this is what it looks like in real time. This is how it shows up as a human. And this is how I'm working through it as I continue to expand into higher levels. And I hope that this can help you and be an example of what this looks like, customized for you in your life to break through any barriers, any excuses that are keeping you small, keeping you stagnant, keeping you in any frequency that you're ready to transcend and move forward from and break free of. And you deserve it. We all deserve it. And that is the path of the teacher. It's the path of the healer. It's the growth path. It's the abundant path, is to really be facing these things and looking them head on. And that's what the meditation helps us to do, to have an experience of ourselves every day, to see ourselves, to feel ourselves, to be with ourselves, to look at all parts of ourselves, what we really love and what's a little bit harder to look at, to see it all, and then to make the best decision for ourselves and to do it afraid, do it scared, and do it despite anything that could keep us from doing it in the first place or tell us to wait, because there will never be a perfect time. And so to wrap this all up, when we are able to start making more decisions quicker and not listen to the excuses, then the universe really starts to be able to support us to move things forward faster, because our frequency is vibrating higher and our energy isn't drained, and we're able to really be in a higher frequency to move. And I've really noticed that about, really successful people that are really in a more expanded level than me, that I'm really expanding into. I see that they're making decisions a little faster than me. They're doing things that they're afraid of a little bit more than I am. They're, doing things inconveniently. They're not waiting for some perfect timing, right? They're okay with being inconvenienced because they see a bigger picture. They see a little inconvenience now is actually giving me so much more things that are way more important to me than being inconvenienced. And that's what Eckhart Tolle talks about. If you've read The Power of Now, he talks about if you're just kind of working around like thorns in your side, then you're always going to be kind of working around them versus just clearing them out and pulling them out and like doing what's inconvenient now. Like pull out the thorn. It's so painful. But then the rest of your life, you don't have to be working around a thorn and worrying about it bumping up against something and hurting you multiple times a day, right? So that's kind of my interpretation of Eckhart Tolle's thorn example. So that's what we want to do. We want to speed things up. It's okay to have inconveniences, whatever. I can handle it. I can do it. And it's going to really benefit us so much more in the long haul. So the timing will never be perfect, but our lives are too precious to delay our purpose, to delay our manifestations, to delay the messages and the downloads and the things that we know we're here to do. So I really encourage you to do it anyways and to have fun with it. We can have fun with the healing, with all of this work. And I'm super excited for you to really just have fun moving forward and continue expanding and growing. Comment below if this was helpful for you. I would love to hear where you're at. Feel free to email me at support@intunebybritt.com. DM me at It's Britt Official. Share with me anything that is coming up for you that you're working on. I'm so excited. I had the most incredible money minting season with so many of you guys. And I wanted to share with you guys, I told my team I had to bundle up money minting. It was the 40-day live container that I did to show up in visibility. We did a meditation every day. It really helped people to show up and hit their discomfort head on and really move through it. It was so powerful, so incredible. So I told my team, we have to package this up. We have to bundle this up. We have to make it available. So I have it available for a really limited amount of time. It's only $22 right now, if it still is $22, because it will be going up. The price will be going up, but I'll leave that link in the show notes. I would love for you guys to do the 40-day challenge with me. So excited. I also have some other exciting things coming up. So look out for that. I'm going to be doing a 3-day, just fun Kundalini, like glow up energy cleanse because I'm doing it for myself. Going into summer. So stay tuned for that. I'll share more about that coming up soon. I'm doing a live round of Rise Up starting in the summer here. If you're already a member of Rise Up, you can do it with us. Or if you're not, you can join in with us so soon. So I'll leave the wait list for that if you're interested. That's my 10-week Kundalini cleanse and energy reset. So much coming up soon. So I'm sending you so much love, so many resources and ways to be supported. Think of it like a buffet, depending on what you need, depending on what you're called to move forward with. I have something for you. So I love you. Sat Nam. Thanks for listening. Share this and tag me on social media and come back for the next episode. So much love. I love you. Go forward despite your excuses. No excuses era. We're doing it together. I love you. Thank you for stepping through the portal with me today. If you loved this episode, I would so appreciate you leaving a review and email it to podcast@intunebybrit.com to grab my free spiritual CEO guide, ChatGPT prompts for content and daily schedules and checklists, and my morning ritual checklist to help you to stay aligned and in flow. Come back for the next episode and let's keep rising, expanding, and flowing together through the portal. Sat Nam, lots of love.